The Honourable Member. Are there any further speakers? I now call on the Minister of Finance in reply, the Honourable Bill English.
Mr Speaker, after I think almost 14 hours of debate, what is striking is the enormous gap in the understanding of the budget between the opposition and the people of New Zealand. An enormous gap. Because the general public have, at worst, shrugged their shoulders and said, well, something had to happen, and are looking forward with some confidence, not just to the World Cup, but to the prospect that after a number of years where they haven't had much in the way of wage increases, where at times they've been concerned about their job security, looking forward to an economy that picks up speed moderately, but definitely, and demonstrates to them that they have weathered a New Zealand recession induced by the previous Labor government and its bad policies, followed by a global recession, and come through the other side of it with sound and positive prospects. Mr Speaker, and the debate, I think, has shown the depth of the disarray of the Labor Party. Now, I don't think they've hit rock bottom yet. I don't think they have. I know it looks like rock bottom. It looks like it couldn't get much worse. But it will. It will. And it won't turn around until they apologise to the New Zealand public. It won't turn around until they roll out of bed one morning and say to themselves, the New Zealand voters were right to kick us out. How many Labor MPs does anyone think believe that the result of the 2008 election was the right result for New Zealand? Not one. Not Stuart Nash? Oh, has he apologised? Well, isn't that good? What a smart young man. And widely regarded as a smart young man, I understand, around the building. A bit of a mover. But, Mr Speaker, until they apologise, no, he will never apologise. No, he never will. No, at least he's realised that being in the Labor Party is even bad for his image. Even for his image, being in the Labor Party is a bad look. So he's got out. But no, Mr Speaker, they need to apologise first for the damage that they wreaked on the New Zealand economy. First for that. And the thousands of people who lost their jobs because of the bad economic management where people's incomes and well-being was reliant on a speculative economy driven by the fuel of borrowed money. That was actually what Labor's contribution to wealth in New Zealand. So they've got to apologise for that. And then they have to apologise for getting so out of touch with the New Zealand voter that they forgot that the economy matters to voters. They were chucked out because they thought that the things that mattered to the Labor Party mattered to New Zealand. And they still do. They still think that the things that matter to the Labor Party, dominated by student politicians and increasingly behaving like the executive of some worn-out student union, they still think that what matters to them matters to New Zealand. And the reason we know that is because they keep wheeling out the same old stuff that they said when they were in government. And filibustering. Well, that's what proves it, actually. There's one thing they've got really motivated about in this whole parliament. And I know it matters to New Zealand because it fills the halls in Belclutha, I can tell you that. If you go to West Auckland on voluntary student union membership, even Tohenere can get a crowd. Mr Speaker, it is the only thing that really matters to the Labor Party is to stop student union membership becoming voluntary. It's the only thing where they've shown any focus any organisation, any backbone, any leadership from the real leader of the Labour caucus, Trevor Mallard. And that rising star, what's his name, from Wellington Central? I can't remember it. All I know is that I used to think that Ruth Dyson was a hopeless health spokesman. And I've changed my mind. Because he has managed something that is almost impossible, and that is to make Ruth Dyson look right onto it when it comes to health. He succeeded. Wait till Stuart Little. Stuart Little. Yes. Andrew Nash, who plans to win the Napier seat, is it? So, Mr Speaker, the Labour Party has not hit rock bottom yet.
Point of order, the Honourable Rick Barker.
I know these debates are to be free-ranging and people like to have good humour and so on, but if the member has a problem, then we should take a point of order. Well, quiet.
Just order. Just allow the member to speak.
Yes, we're entitled to have a free-ranging debate, but members are to be addressed respectfully. And the members addressed about the way in which the member speaking addressed Stuart Nash was not in accordance with standing orders. I asked him to withdraw and apologise.
Order. I just ask that there be some decorum and respect what the standing orders are. And this has come up earlier in this debate. And the Minister has 4 minutes remaining on this debate.
Mr Speaker, the budget debate demonstrates that until the Labour Party apologise, no one is going to listen to them. No one's going to listen to them. Until they say sorry to the country for all the trouble they've put us to, that's it. I agree. Sorry for what? Sorry for what? Mr Speaker, I rest my case. I rest my case. I couldn't have put it better myself. Mr Speaker, this government's had 3 budgets and 1 plan. And that plan is to rebalance the economy, to move away from excessive consumption and borrowing and move towards exports, investment and savings. And there's a very simple reason for that, just pragmatic, like as this government is, under the leadership of the Honourable John Key. New Zealanders are not going to be able to grow their incomes in the next 10 years from increased house prices and bigger government spending, because the world is not going to lend us the money to do it, full stop. That's it. And just about everyone in New Zealand knows that, except the Labour Party. So it can't happen. I mean, we can't indulge in wishful thinking here. The world is not going to lend us that money because we are one of the most highly indebted countries in the developed world, up there with Spain and Portugal. So we're going to have to earn it. And that is why this government, over the last 3 budgets, has put in place, at the same time as supporting this economy through the recession, the building blocks of better economic performance in the future. And just to remind the House of a few, in 2009 we locked in one of the largest infrastructure investment program the country has seen in generations. And we have stuck to it despite the recession. Long-term, beneficial to the people and the economy, and the next bit is broadband. Last budget we did a tax switch. Increased taxes on spending and on property, cut taxes on earnings and savings and investment. The only thing the Labour Party has to say is they want to put income taxes back up. That changes the incentives in the economy, pushes in the direction that New Zealanders are already going. Mr Speaker, and then in this budget we got the government's books under control and lifted and set out to lift national savings. Mr Speaker, the reason why the government has been able to retain the support of New Zealanders through this difficult time is because we are simply pushing in the direction they are already going. The New Zealanders have been admirably resilient through this recession. We have not had a national whinge fest. They've rolled up their sleeves and got on with the job, and that's what the national government's doing. We're doing what they do. We're being careful with their spending. They did it 2 or 3 years ago. We want to pull our borrowing back because they know and we know too much of it is a bad thing. And Mr Speaker, that is why we have so much confidence in the future. Partly because the trading nations of the Asia Pacific want to pay more for more of our goods. That is very promising for the next 5 to 10 years. But the deeper reason for our confidence is that resilience that New Zealand has shown. And I'm proud to be part of a party that has backed over the last 2 decades New Zealand's transition into being a small, open, flexible, globally focused economy. And now New Zealand is getting good at it. And that is why they haven't complained about this recession, and that is why they have strongly backed the 2011 budget.
Members, this debate has concluded. The question is that the amendment in the name of the Honourable Phil Goff be agreed to. Those of that opinion will say aye. Aye. To the contrary, no. No. The noes have it. I'll ask the... Order. We are having a vote. I'll ask the clerk for a party vote.
New Zealand National.
58 votes against.
New Zealand Labour.
42 votes in favour.
Green Party.
9 votes in favour.
ACT New Zealand.
5 votes against.
Māori Party.
Tokotoru e whakaheana.
Progressive.
1 vote in favour.
United Future.
1 vote against.
Honourable Chris Carter.
1 vote in favour.
Any other votes?
Members, the ayes are 53, the noes are 67. The amendment is not agreed to. The question now is that the bill be read a second time. Those of that opinion will say aye. Aye. To the contrary, no. The ayes have it. Ayes have it. Ayes have it. Party vote. I'll ask the clerk for a party vote.
New Zealand National.
58 votes in favour.
New Zealand Labour.
42 votes against.
Green Party.
9 votes opposed.
ACT New Zealand.
5 votes in favour.
Māori Party.
Tokotoru e whakaheana.
Progressive.
1 vote opposed.
United Future.
1 vote in favour.
Honourable Chris Carter.
1 vote opposed.
Any other votes?
Members, the ayes are 67, the noes are 53. The motion is agreed to.
2011-12 Estimates Bill, second reading.
This bill is set down for committee stage next sitting day. Call on Government Order of the Day number 2.
Freedom Camping Bill, first